So Australian theme park Dreamworld had possibly its biggest news day in probably the last 3 years on Friday. I'm Dan from themeparknut.com, and today we're going to run through the Dreamworld announcements and react to them. So Friday was an unexpectedly massive day for Dreamworld on the Gold Coast. Firstly, we had the opening of Sky Voyager, the long-awaited flying theatre attraction that Dreamworld has been building for the last year and a half. The attraction's a replacement for the IMAX theatre that was on sort of the main entrance hub bit of Dreamworld. So it's been very visible that construction's been going on here over that period of time. And sadly for Dreamworld, they kind of jumped the gun on announcing when they'd open it. The expected opening of this attraction was December of last year. That's right, 8 months ago. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about why this attraction has taken so long to actually come to fruition. The most credible I've heard is that basically they got up to the ride testing step and found a major issue that needed work across the entire attraction. One that's sort of theorized is it might have been electrical. They might have had to pull all the wiring out and rewire the entire attraction due to something they found in the testing. But in short, it's good to have this attraction finally open. Dreamworld's had a very rough run over the last 5 years. They had a horrible incident at the park where a freak accident caused the death of 3 guests, which was probably the worst day in Australian theme park history. The park itself hasn't really recovered from that event. The attendance has been down, all the media of it's been very negative. They've had the inquest going on around the deaths of these poor individuals over the last year. Dreamworld have been ripping out that rapid drive that's been one of their stapled attractions for many, many years. So Dreamworld's been a little bit down on their luck. They had added this brand new family attraction, expected it to open last year, and it's taken 8 months longer than they were expecting. So it's a wonderful day for Dreamworld that Sky Voyager is open. But they didn't just open Sky Voyager on Friday. They also announced that they're building a brand new coaster, and not a little one either. The first sort of wind I got of this coaster coming to Dreamworld was on basically Thursday of last week, before the Friday announcement, where parks.com.au, one of the big Australian park sites, put in their database that Dreamworld was adding an unnamed Mack Rides Blue Fire coaster. This was very rapidly followed by the announcement on Friday, which included concept art of this amazing attraction. Now, I thought at first, and I reported in my news on Friday, that this was a straight clone of the Blue Fire mega coaster that's in Europa Park, which I'm excited about because Blue Fire is actually one of the best coasters I've ever ridden. Not that I've ridden thousands of coasters, I'm not a massive coaster head, but that coaster is one of the ones, I've probably been on 30, 40 coasters, and it's in my top 5, well and truly. It's a great coaster. But that's not what Dreamworld's getting. In fact, they look like they're getting something bigger. From what we've heard so far, it's going to have a triple launch in it, it's going to have loops, and it's going to have a dead-end stop that rolls back. It looks like a really interesting coaster. I'm not quite sure what to make of it at the moment. I totally trust the Mack company in terms of building roller coasters. They make great coasters, and all of the ones that I've been on of theirs have been fantastic rides. So from that point of view, a great choice for Dreamworld. Based on the concept art, this ride is going to sit behind the Sky Voyager ride and basically take up the footprint of the now demolished minecart ride and the River Rapids ride. So there was a large area right at the front of the park that had completely been cleared, basically because the minecart was unsalvageable and because obviously the rapid ride had to be removed because of the horrible incident. So it's a great place for a coaster. It's very central to the park. And it will look pretty cool at the front of the park, no question about that. So why announce this now, in the middle of D23, which is one of the biggest theme park news events that happens globally? Well, to put it simply, there are two reasons. Firstly, there was an investor call on Friday, and that's the biggest thing. Investors of Ardent, the parent company of Dreamworld, have been incredibly nervous of the fate of this park, and rightly so. So the opening of Sky Voyager was timed very well. It just happened to coincide with the fact that they were also going to be announcing their brand new ride, some new slides for their water park, which I'm not going to talk about, as a rejuvenation of the park and a positive story for their investors. It'll also help distract some of the detractors who are keenly saying that Sky Voyager's opening is a sign of how bad the park's gone and it took 8 months and all of this stuff. If they open that and announce a new attraction coming after it, well, you know, that's a lovely little addition for Australian park fans. The second real reason goes to another rumour that's been swirling the last couple of months, that the Tower of Terror might be on its last legs. What was once a record-breaking launched roller coaster has been struggling for a while, and the reports from the park are that it hasn't been running as often, and that the attraction merchandise is actually on sale and they're not restocking it when it sells out. So it sounds like Tower of Terror 2, as it is now known, might not be around for that much longer. And I've got mixed emotions on it. It was a fun ride when it started. It hasn't been great in its Tower of Terror 2 time frame. In my opinion, it takes up a really awkward spot in the park. It's certainly iconic, and I don't think the giant drop's going anywhere, to be clear. I think the pole and the giant drop will stay for the moment. But yep, I think we're going to see the back of the Tower of Terror within the next 6 months. So isn't it good that they might be building a new coaster, a launch coaster, that will be shiny, happy and new, and kind of cover for the fact that they've lost this once very iconic, now a little bit dilapidated attraction. So what does that mean for my own personal pet conspiracy theory that Ardent are trying to get Legoland to buy out Dreamworld and turn it into one of their parks? Well, initially I thought it was completely killed my theory, right? I thought, you're putting in a Blue Fire coaster, it's an extreme thrill coaster, it's, you know, not the kind of thing that you typically find in a Legoland park. It's definitely consistent with the theme of Dreamworld, so you would expect that if you're trying to keep Dreamworld alive, this is the kind of thing you do. But then Dreamworld released the artwork for this new coaster, and, well... Thanks for watching my video all about Dreamworld's announcements. We'll be back on Friday with our regular theme park news in a minute video, so tune in for that. In the meantime, you can check us out on Twitter at themeparknut, or our blog is themeparknut.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, cheers.